So I built this interior scene with meshes, windows, and these grease pencil flowers moving around, and I wanted to render the animation. But things kept going wrong and I couldn't find a solution online. See, from the viewport render view, everything looks alright except for the depth of field. But when you render it out, the grease pencil behind glasses won't show up at all. And when you enable depth of field or motion blur, it would have this jagged mosaic look. The alpha of each pixel of the grease pencil object is either 1 or 0, no in between. I also added volumetrics in my scene, and even though the couch is in front, the grease pencil would still peek through somehow. Because Cycles render grease pencil separately and composite it in the scene with the Z-Pass. I tried to composite it myself with Z-Pass and Mis-Pass, and also to render the meshes as holdouts, but none of them worked. By some coincidence, I figured out kind of a way around it. It doesn't solve the out of focus edge issue perfectly, but it's the best I could find. If you have a better fix, please leave a comment. Before we start, if you want to quickly give your grease pencil some fake shadows, you could add some flakes where the grease pencils are and set the ray visibility to shadow only. And now, first of all, duplicate your file. It's easier to have a separate one just for rendering the grease pencil. In this new file, give everything else but your grease pencil a simple transparent shader with 0 alpha. You need to delete the excess shaders with objects that have multiple shaders. And disable your volumetric. Enable transparent in the render setting. The transparent meshes will act like masks with Blender 4.0 and up. It seems like just making everything transparent doesn't work anymore. You need to also check the holdout box of the collections. I didn't have to with my old 3.1 or something, so you need to be aware of this. Because we don't have any visible meshes to render, you can put the sample to 1 and this will render really fast. You can re-render as much as you want. Okay, now render your scene without grease pencil in the old file and save it. Open your new file. I doubled the resolution so the edge issue won't be as noticeable when you composite it. Render and save it. And disable transmissive object like windows and render and save again. If you aim for a finer edge, you can go to Render tab, Advanced, change the seed of the noise pattern and render again, save them. If you want your grease pencils to have a look of volumetric haze or depth blur to blend better with your scene, you could save it as EXR multi-layer. We will need to check the Z-Pass. It should be checked anyways. The Mis-Pass somehow didn't work in my 4.0. It just renders all white, but Z-Pass should be fine. Now put everything in Resolve, drag them in the timeline. I used 2 layers with what's behind the window and 2 without, so I lowered the transparency of each layer to make the ones behind the window less visible. All the layers add up to a bit more than 100% of transparency. Because we changed the seed for the second render, we have different patterns for the edge of each render. So when you put them together with lower transparency, it will create an illusion of smoother edge. In Fusion, I just gave them a quick color grading. The edge and how it fits with the scene looks passable for me. And with the multi-layer method, here's how I set up the nodes. I'm very new to Resolve, so this is probably not very professional. I put the gain of the Z-Pass very low, so it has a decent range from black to white, and used it as the Mis-Pass for the volumetric look. And also used the Z-Pass for depth blur. Make sure you use the right settings. I just copied them online. You could put the dropper on the Z-Pass window to see what the focal length should be, and you could also animate it. Finally, do your color grading. I hope this helped someone a little bit because I was really struggling with this issue. Bye bye.